So a couple common mistakes would probably be the first one, I would say, is not remembering to expand it fully. So forgetting to put one of the rules in, forgetting that, forgetting which terms are separated by subtraction, which are separated by addition, and a quotient problem, or just simply just not expanding all the way. So say like in the last problem, you had a bunch of different rules and I only stopped at the second, like the first step that I went through where I just solved with the product and the quotient rule and I didn't move those exponents out. That's where you would make a mistake because you get points taken off because you're not fully expanding it by moving those exponents out in front of the log expression before you have a complete answer there. So that's one of the most common mistakes. I'd say the second most common mistake would be with the quotient rule, remembering which terms are going to be separated by addition and which are going to be separated by subtraction. So you basically the most helpful thing that you can remember is that adding the terms together means that those are going to be adding those log expressions together. If they're separated by an addition sign, it'll mean that they're going to be in the numerator no matter what. So you just have to remember that. Subtraction, if they're separated by a subtraction rule, you just have to remember like sub would be, I would just think like a submarine, like below. So subtraction sign sub would mean it go under the division line. So those two terms or however many terms you have that are separated by the subtraction sign, those are going to go in your denominator. So that's how you can remember that. Another common thing I think I would say is the that radical rule that I talked about, where you have a fraction in your exponent, remembering to put the numerator under the numerator under the radical, and the denominator is going to be your index number. So denominator n. So I had x to the m over n power. So m's on top, n's on the bottom. Numerator is going to go under the radical. N, which is your denominator, the one that I said was n, is going to be your index number. So you can remember x to the m over n power. N is going to be your index number. So that's a good way to remember that. Those are just a couple of the most common mistakes. So remembering where your terms are going to be separated by addition, where they're going to be separated by subtraction, and just remembering to expand or condense them fully, making sure you use all of the product rules, run through, see if you missed any before you turn in a paper, turn in your test. Remember that you have to make sure all of those rules are being used that need to be used. So those are the most common mistakes, I would say.